Hello my dear students, welcome to science class. Today I will be discussing chapter number 12 and the name of the chapter is Day, Night and the Sun. The sun is a huge ball of fire. So we know that from sun we get heat, light. Okay, so how does we get heat from the sun? Because the sun is a huge ball of fire. Okay, so it is a huge ball of fire, a very big ball of fire, where inside the sun, inside that ball, fires present. Okay, because of that fire we get the heat and the light. Okay. So it is much bigger than the earth and it is far away from us. Yes, sun is much bigger than the earth. Okay, the earth, comparatively earth is smaller than sun. Okay, so sun is very much big. Okay, if the suppose earth is this much, the sun will be, the sun is this much. Okay, so the sun is bigger than the earth. Imagine how hot the sun must be for its heat to reach us from so far away. So sun, it is so much heat. The sun contains so much of heat. Okay, so imagine how hot the sun must be. If we go near the sun, it is impossible to go near the sun. Okay, it is impossible. If the sun is so much away from the earth, still we cannot bear the heat of the sun. We cannot stand the heat of the sun. When it becomes 32, 36 degrees Celsius itself, we feel like, you know, so hot, we need fan, AC and a cooler and all these things we need. Okay, so to make us comfortable, we are feeling very much hot. Then imagine if imagination itself is a very tough. If we think to go near the sun, obviously will burn. Okay, from so far away the sun is producing so much of heat, okay, that reach the earth, and not only heat, the light also we get from the sun. And suppose you think of going near the sun, then imagine what will happen. Okay, obviously you will burn. Okay, so the sun will burn us. When the sun rises in the east, it is morning. So sun rises in the east, so at that time we say it as morning time. Slowly the sun climbs up in the sky. It is overhead at noon. So when the time passes from the morning, when the sun rises up, that time it is said to be a morning, because the fresh light we get at that time. And when the sun climbs up the sky, okay, the sun rises, okay, so properly rises and comes over the head, okay, that time is said to be an noon time. Okay, that is middle of the noon. That time we feel very much heat comparatively morning session. Okay, so then it starts climbing down and sets in the west. So when the sun sets, the time when the sun sets at the west side, at that time what happens at that time, little bit heat decreases. Okay, compared to afternoon session. After the sun set, it becomes dark. So after the set of the sun, what happens? The night comes out. The light, vanishes and the darkness comes out. Okay, so it becomes dark. That we say is a night. Okay, so morning when the sun rises up, the light falls on the earth. Okay, and it brightens up our earth. So at that time we say it as a morning. At the first session of the day, it is said to be a morning. And slowly the sun climbs the sky. That means the sun rises properly when it comes over our head. At that time, afternoon session, we get very much heat at that time. Okay, that is properly risen. Then afterwards, when the sun starts to set in the east, on the west side, at that time what happens? The brightness of the sun slowly vanishes and the darkness comes out. That is said to be a night. Where does the sun go when it sets? Yeah, you might have the question, where does the sun goes? It rises at the morning and sets in the evening session. So where does the sun goes? You may have question, where does the sun goes? So it stays right where it is the earth that moves. Yes, the sun never goes anywhere, the sun never moves, the sun stays in its place itself, okay. It is the earth, our earth, that only moves, keep on rotating on its axis. Because of the rotation of the earth, we get day and night. So suppose you see this one, I can take as an example this cap, using this, imagine this cap as the sun and this one is our earth, okay. So or you can take this one is our earth and this one is what I am telling sun, okay. So what if the earth keeps on rotating like this, what happens at that time? This portion east side, at the first time east side, the sun rays falls on the east side, okay, the morning session, and keeps on rotating and rotating. At the end what happens? The sun sets, okay. So that what happens at that time it happens that day, darkness comes out, okay. The sun doesn't move, the sun remains in its place, the earth only rotates, okay. So let us see how the earth moves. In the same way as our part of the earth turns to face the sun, the sky lights up. The sun appears in the east and it is morning. So when the part of a earth faces the sun, this is a sun, this is the one part that is east side, the part of a sun which faces the sun, that appears, that gets light from the sun, okay, and that it's said to be as morning, okay, morning session. And as the earth turns more, the sun seems to move. It moves from the east to the middle of the sky. It is in the middle of the sky at noon. So when the earth starts moving, like this, the middle of the earth faces the sun, okay. So at that time it seems to be noon. In the afternoon the sun moves towards the west. Finally our part of earth turns away from the sun, then the sun vanishes in the west and it is evening. So from east to west it is rotating like that. When the sun rays falls on the middle of the earth, that is afternoon session. And finally what happens? When the west side face the sun, at that time what happens? The sun rays vanishes to the other part. So that becomes a night, the evening time. That means the sun rays starts getting vanished to particular that part, okay, that part. Day and night. As the earth turns, the half of it that faces the sun has day. When the earth starts moving, when the earth starts rotating, the half of that earth, okay, half of the earth only will get the sun rays, because the other half is hidden from the sun, okay. So that other half, the other parts, there you can say the other countries also, okay. So other countries or other part of the earth will have the night darkness, okay, because the sun rays are not falling on the other part. So the part which is faced towards the sun, that part only is getting the brightness, okay. So that is a daytime, okay. So again when the earth starts rotating, the other half will face, the second half will come and face to the sun. At that time what happens? That second half becomes a daytime and the first half becomes what? Night time, okay, night time. So like this the earth rotates, and the rotation of the earth only makes day and night, okay, day and night. The sun never moves from its own place. It is only the earth which moves, which rotates, okay. So here ends the discussion. If you have any doubt, any questions regarding this chapter, you can call me between 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Thank you.